Hey guys, it's your girl Classy, and it's time to answer definitively who is the best character. Is Zhongli, after all of the discussion and talking about, actually top tier or is he bottom tier? And the only way we're going to discover that today is by ranking husbandos, because we all know that's what we're really here for. I don't care what Mahoya says. I don't care what everyone else is saying about, oh my god, his press, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Because if there's one thing I know I care about in this whole world, it's some bomb-ass husbandos. And especially as we get closer and closer to what we are most thankful for in the year, or what we hope for next year, our New Year's resolutions, our New Year's hopes, let's all think about and give thanks for all the beautiful, wonderful, gracious husbandos that Mihoyo has blessed us with in the past 2 months. Now, we're over here on Tier List Maker, and I can see, you guys should be seeing, that I've already got the nice rank set up. There's a top tier where only the best of the best husbandos are going to go. There's a nice tier where they're like, not quite like, oh my gosh, bring me breakfast in bed, do all this nice stuff type of husbandos. Then you do you, sis, I don't really care, it's not none of mine. And then there's the drop 'em tier where, let's be honest, they shouldn't be a husbando at all. And of course, we have the female tier. I ain't bothering to rank these ladies because there's already 500 million waifu tier lists on the face of the planet for Genshin. They all ignore us gamer girls, and we need to let them know that we want our own tier list. Or there are guys who are ranking them, and it's just like not quite what I want to see. And since I'm gonna be picky, I'm gonna make my own tier list, because you know what? If I'm gonna talk shit, I might as well do it. Biggest rule of this tier list: we are assuming that every character on this list, and really in the game besides like Klee, because it's very obvious that Klee is not an adult. So if there is a male character later that's added that is in the no, you are actually 5 section, then we'll make a children's section just for them. But until then, we're assuming all of the guys here are at least 18 years old. Except for Zhao and Zhongli, and I guess Venti, who are technically thousands of years old. Spoilers, if you didn't already know or play the damn game. So with that out of the way, let's get started. Alright, first we got male MC. I think his doofy ass name's Ether. Unlike most of the characters that we have in the game, he actually shows some abs, which is good thumbs up from me. We have a serious lack of abs in this game. However, since I'm playing as a female MC, he got his ass clapped by the unknown goddess, and that's definitely a point down, because you at least want a dude who's at least gonna be able to on your level. And yeah, Lumine got herself sent back to the shadow realm that is Teyvat, but she at least knew how to dodge a Roblox attack. Alright, so I don't know about you, but I'm thinking he's not drop him tier, because at least he fights, even though he's apparently evil. But we're not gonna hold that against him, because the female MC could go evil. So we're just gonna put him in the you do you section. He can also put up with Paimon, but it'd also be weird dating yourself. Would that be self-cessed? Since that's the playable character, I guess we're just going to assume he's a different person, but we will put him in the you do you. If you are really hankering for some nice abs, and someone who can really put up with annoying children like Paimon, then they're a good pick. Next we got Albedo. I know abso-fucking-lutely nothing about this dude, except that he is Sucrose's master or teacher or something going on. He looks a lot like the MC, which is a little weird, not gonna lie. I know he's a sword, and he's also a Geo unit, so I'm gonna assume he's probably gonna have like a steady temper, nice calm guy. He's also gonna be a scientist, and scientists can go any type of way in our anime RPGs. They can either be really fucking crazy and just want to explode shit, or they can just be like really chill and just get really into it. The difference between Watson, Pietro, and Ruby. Maybe that's not a good example because both of them helped make a robot that has rocket launchers and almost killed someone. So maybe that's not a good example. But Albedo is, he's got a nice hair, nice tussle. We don't know too much about him. I'm gonna assume he's a decent dude because he says Sucrose likes him, so we'll at least put him in the nice category. I didn't put like a middle, like meh, because that's weak sauce. You gotta commit onto whatever section people are gonna be in. Next we got Baiju, something. Alright, now Baiju gets a lot of points because he also has abs, which is nice. So automatically he should be there. He's also, I think he's the only male character with green hair. I mean, Venti's got his like little light blue teal twin pigtails, so that kind of counts. But having only green hair makes you stand out. But he also hangs out with a fucking zombie. Like, he has a zombie child. And we're assuming that Chi-Chi is, thousands of years old. Because, it was like she has ancient adepti techniques and blah, blah, blah. This dude is hanging around a zombie child. And that seems a little sus to me. Alright? But he's a pharmacist, so if you ever get hurt or you get sick, he can take really good care of you. So that's always good. Also, he's got glasses, which it can be, I understand some people really like some glasses on their men, and he does rock them very well. So, I don't really know where to put Baiju. He's definitely not drop him. He's not that sus. I don't think him hanging out with a zombie girl is that big of a deal. He also didn't mind giving us some kind of discount to get Chi-Chi her cocoa goat milk or coconut milk. So we'll put him in nice because he seems like a nice dude. But if he fucks up, I don't mind putting him to you do you. Next, we got good boy Bennett. Now, Bennett is a little young looking for me. I know I said we're assuming that they're all 18 and older, but this dude looks a little bit young. So he already can't go top tier. Those are going to be saved for the best of the best. But he's a good boy. He's a precious little bean. He buffs people's attack. He can heal them. He does pyro damage, which is always really good. And he's such an unlucky kid. No one wants to do adventures with him. He always leaves treasure for Klee instead of keeping his own. So he's already precious. But precious does not make a husbando. Precious makes someone you adopt as your child. So he has to go in the you do you category because I cannot take anyone as my husbando who I would want to protect that much. I want someone who's going to fight on equal terms. Alright, now we got Chongyun, Naruto looking ass with his hand seals and ice powers. And he also has ice cream in his idol animation, which is really fucking cute. I don't know too much about Chongyun. I just know he reminds me of Naruto. I just know he also has ice powers, and he's really good at supporting the game. So I'm assuming that means he'd be able to support you pretty well. He also lugs around a giant fucking sword, so this dude is strong. But yet again, he looks way too young. So, you do you, sis. Alright, now we got this dude that no one has actually seen the game yet, but he narrates every fucking character introduction. I believe his name is Dan Leaf, Dan something. I assume he's a sword user because we just have a lot of those. He, again, looks a lot like the MC, kind of, I think. Looks like moody emo MC, which is probably what's going to happen in the end game when your MC has to go fight the twin and they're do some kind of power up and turn into their future selves, and you have to defeat them with the power of God in anime. But he has a killer voice, like an amazing voice. If you listen to any of the trailers and how he describes how you should use the units or even their background stories, you can just fall asleep on that. It's like just like slipping around in silk. It is nice. So for that alone, we don't know anything about him. I'm saying he's sus because the narrator and JRPG should always be seen as sus. He is going in the nice category. Alright, now we get into the actual people who do look like fucking adults, and here's Diluc. Now, Diluc is a redhead pyro unit, also chucks around a giant ass sword. He's also fucking rich, which is always a good thing, and he owns a bar. So you know, you will always, if you ever have to drown yourself in grief or pain, you know this dude's got plenty of stuff to take care of you. However, he's also a moody motherfucker, so maybe you don't want to deal with his moods and him complaining about the Knights of Favonius at literally every fucking moment. This man never stops. He's also Batman. And you know what? I have never seen a single moment where a relationship with Batman ever ends up well. So, taking all that into account, where should we put Diluc? I mean, he's got a bird, so you know he likes animals, so that's always a good thing. The bird never runs away from him either. In fact, it turns into a flaming bird on his fucking sword and it attacks people, so that's always good. So, I think we will put him in top tier for the ladies who want to date Batman, because that's probably the closest anyone's gonna get in Monster. Actually, I mean, his voice isn't that great, though. So if you can put up with his voice and you don't mind hearing him complaining about the Knights of Favonius or the cops, I'll put him in top tier, just because we don't really have that many characters, any characters up there. Next, we got Kaya. And I'm going to just put Kaya top tier already. I'm going to put him above Diluc because Kaya's voice is already fucking incredible. They were so close at being perfect with Diluc, but I don't know what it is. It's just not quite. But Kaya, it's smooth, it's silky, it's calm. He sounds like he just wants to mess around with you and press all the right buttons until, you know, you just want to explode, and then he'll just like laugh and like brush it off and it'll be nice. He also for some reason just has an eye patch. I don't know if he actually needs it. Does anyone know if he actually needs it? But, you know, some of the hottest characters in anime have eye patches, or like are missing an eye, or it's just like a trope. Like, how many people like fucking Roronoa Zora? I don't know his name. The samurai from One Piece. If I read it, I know it, but if I'm just trying to say it, I can't. I don't know. I'm sorry that I can't get my R's and L's correctly today. So that's always nice. Ice unit, good utility. Yeah, I think he's better than Diluc. I'm also a fan of tan and dark skin characters. It's just perfect along with the blue hair. Also, he's really sus because of his character profile. Yes, I use Kaya enough to have read his entire profile. Y'all who don't use Kaya need to calm the fuck down and start using him because the dude is really good. Anyway, moving on. We got Razor, my main DPS, because I am unlucky enough to not have a 5-star DPS unit. But I don't care because my boy Razor is amazing. I love him, and he's also a precious boy. And I really kind of wish I could just have a Razor category so none of y'all motherfuckers will go after my small child. So Razor, he'll definitely be able to protect you no matter what. You might want to worry about getting shocked. He can also summon a JoJo stand, which is already a very powerful and aggressively manly ability. Now the problem with that is that with Razor is that he was raised by wolves, so I don't trust that his personal hygiene is actually up to snuff. And you know, as much as I love him, I also don't want to smell wolf scent or too many disgusting things. So at the very least, I'm gonna put him in. Where should I put Razor? You know, I'm surprisingly going to put him in Drop Him because you deserve, ladies or men, if you're watching, you deserve to have someone who's going to be clean, groom themselves. And I mean groom themselves in a very good way and not the way that animals do in licking themselves. So sorry, baby boy Razor, you're on the bottom tier. You're our first bottom tier for Husbando tier list. Next, we got Scaramouche. I'm not even gonna try to sing Bohemian Rhapsody because I don't have the voice for that. Scaramouche, another character who looks way too goddamn young to be a husbando. But you know, he's got a really fancy hat. He's gonna show up in Inazuma, so at some point we're gonna learn a little bit more about him. All we know so far is that he's kind of an asshole. He's probably a little bit sadistic, and apparently the other Fertility Harbingers don't like him that much. But that shouldn't matter because it doesn't seem like any of them like each other that much, to be honest. But this dude really be styling out here with his giant ass hat that looks like it would be amazing to wear, but it would also be a shit lot to cosplay. So, you know what, good on him. I'm actually really interested in seeing what kind of unit he'll be. I think it'd be really cool. For some reason, I really want him to be like a dual short sword person, but if Child wasn't that, I doubt they'll give it to him and his fucking Beyblade looking hat. Anyway, back on topic. I have strong feelings that you should never get involved with a sadist because that's a little bit too close to a yandere, so he is definitely going at the top of the drop 'em list. Because if they're a little bit crazy, I mean, there's like a healthy amount of crazy, like fangirls who can be like a kind of amusing in their craziness, and then there's like people who tell their subordinates not to think for themselves. That's a little bit too much for me, so he's going over there. Next is not Sucrose. She goes in the female tier. Sorry about that, Sucrose. I didn't mean to try and say anything about you. Okay, next is Child / Tartaglia with the most fucking obnoxious names. I am going to piss a whole bunch of people off and put him in the drop 'em tier. I don't really fucking care if you like Child. I think Child looks hot. I really like how he has the peekaboo belly. Again, because we just don't have enough abs in this game. Actually, if the only abs playable in the game is the MC, which is absolutely disgusting. So Child bringing that in was always going to be very nice. He's got the nice ruffled hair. He just looks sick. His scarf looks amazing, and I was very happy to add him to my collection. However, then we had his fucking boss fight. And, you know, I don't claim to be good at this game. I don't claim to be amazing. I don't even know if I claim to be average. But if there was one thing that could turn me off of a dude, it is him killing my devious 2 to 3 times in a fight. Because I had no fucking clue how many one-hit kill moves he had in that goddamn fight, or how to avoid them. I mean, I knew how to avoid the whale. Clearly, do not stand where the whale is about to drop. But, you know, Child, you just killed me too many times. That really, you know, kills the mood, just like it killed my Razor. So, I'm sorry, drop 'em tier. And you're definitely going above Razor in the drop 'em tier, because, you know, Razor might smell, but you literally murdered me. So it is what it is. Next, we got Venti. Venti is, you know, there's always going to be at least one character who looks too young but is actually a couple of thousand years old. And for now, that is Venti. So, where, at least for the men, I'm sure there's one female character who I'm on here or who will get added at some point that will also fit the bill. So where will we put Venti? He's a bard, so he'll always be able to entertain you. He gave some sick roast to La Signora, when she took his gnosis, which definitely gives him points in my book. Because if you can roast someone when you're after they kicked your ass and you're still gonna roast them while rhyming, you clearly can't go in the drop 'em tier. But he's also kind of broke at all points, and he'll never be allowed to go to the bar. I don't really mind that because I don't like going out to the bar. I think they're sticky and very annoying. So ooh, he's hard. Where would I put Venti? I just think he's cute. I think he's adorable, and I'll just say right. Same with him and with Bennett and Chongyun. You just look a little bit too young. You're a little bit too cute for me to be a husbando. You have a fucking flower in your hair, boy. I can't do it. I will move you above Bennett because I think I'd probably be willing to take that risk. Please don't knock down my door, officer. But I'll just do it. I'd be more willing to do that. I'll still keep the MC higher than him because he's actually showing abs, and abs mean a lot to me. He's also got really developed arms. Actually, let me see here. I'll move Baijiu above Albedo, just because we've actually seen Baijiu full figure, and he's pretty appealing. Alright, next we got Zhao. Zhao is also, he's in the game, but he's not playable, just like Baijiu. So we've seen his character model. He was in the CBT. And this portrait that's on the wiki is fucking beautiful. Now, Zhao's a pole arm user, so that means he's gonna move real quick. And that buff he gave us in the boss battle in Leeway, the final chapter battle, that was amazing. He's like second only to Madam Ping in that fight, as far as I'm concerned. But does that make him a top tier husbando? No, he's pretty stoic, and he's definitely got the Sasuke Uchiha feel to him. And I was never a fan of Sasuke. I was more of a Neji girl myself. But he also seems like the type of dude who's like gonna talk shit, but is nice to children, which is always a nice feeling. And then I'm gonna say this right here. He is. Oh, I have 19% on my battery. That's not good. He loves almond tofu, and for me that's not a good thing because I'm allergic to nuts, but that means he also likes nuts, so he can eat all the Reese's candy I get on Halloween. His voice is really cool. Let's just hope that Swift like him does not equal into the bedroom, and we will put him in top tier for now. Alright, now we got Singshu. Now Singshu is gonna go in the you do you category. I was gonna say drop him because he looks like a fucking nerd, like I could break him over my knee myself, but he's also rich. And he's also really helped that old guy, and he likes to read. So in my opinion, that at least keeps him in the you do you category. I wouldn't mess with it, but hey, you do what you need to do. And then finally we have Zhongli. Zhongli, the one that everyone is flipping out about. Zhongli, the one that we all simped for so hard. Zhongli, the previous Archon of Leeway. Now, where will we put him? We all know his voice is God tier. We know the song that they used on his fucking trailer was God tier, and we know his animations are God tier. But apparently his attack is weak noodle sauce. So does that drop him from top tier to nice? Well, see, the problem with Zhongli isn't his attack or his attack speed or anything. Is that he's fucking broke. And he will always be broke. Nothing will ever change that about him. And he just doesn't understand money. Which is very, very, very unfortunate for him. Because he looks so fucking good. And he sounds so fucking good. Like, goddamn. But the most important thing really for Zhongli isn't the fact that he doesn't have money. It's not the fact that he is very important that he sounds good, let's be honest. But the one thing that will save him from being nice is the fact that he will protect you better than anyone else because his shields are godly. And he just didn't give a shit talking to those archaeologists in his story quest, and which I appreciate, because sometimes archaeologists or people who just want to see an archaeological site need to get slammed the fuck down. So that in itself, to me at least, puts him above Zhao. His voice gets him over to Luke, but I don't think he'll actually take it from Kaya, because Kaya has an actual job, has some goddamn money, and Kaya being a little sus kind of adds a little intrigue to it. This is me being semi-objective in it. I personally will put Zhongli above Kaya, but thinking out of knowing what I know of story, who would I want as my actual husband? Probably Kaya. I wouldn't turn my nose up at Zhongli, but Kaya, when we get to Conria or whatever that one country is, you better not fucking betray me, because I put too much effort into you and your sets. Anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this tier list. I just wanted to add or do something a little bit funny, because everyone is screaming about Zhongli being good or not after they spent who knows how much money. Let's just remember the real reason that we're playing the game: to collect our husbandos and waifus. And I'm not gonna say don't be mad about Zhongli not being what you want, but I'm just gonna say make sure to have fun doing whatever you want to do. And let's just remember, it's alright to be upset, but it's always more fun to be happy. So let's just try to spread some happiness, at least to each other. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Hope you like it. Maybe I'll do a waifu tier list from my perspective, or maybe I'll do some other shit. I'm planning on doing a whole lot of other husbando videos for other games. Let me know if you like it. And, the most important thing, guys, is to stay classy. See you later.